Welcome to this deep dive. Today we're tackling a topic that's really crucial for any business navigating the modern landscape. Business intelligence, or BI.
Right.
Think of it as the strategic brain power that takes raw data, all those numbers and figures, and turns it into a clear view of where your business has been, where it is now, and maybe even where it's heading.
Yeah, it's not just about having the data anymore, is it?
No, it's about having the intelligence to actually act on it.
Exactly. And in our experience, here at Vee Technologies, we see firsthand just how much data our clients are juggling.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge isn't really the volume. It's pulling out the meaningful signals from all that noise.
Right.
So today, we want to dig into how BI is truly being used to drive results. We'll draw on some real-world examples and, importantly, our own insights from working with businesses to get these tools up and running.
Okay.
We'll touch on, the whole range, basic reporting, dashboards, analytics, data mining, even predictive stuff, always focusing on that core idea, turning data into smart actions.
Okay, so we use the term business intelligence a lot, but power business intelligence, what does that really mean in practice? Is there a difference?
Well, Power Business Intelligence, it basically refers to that whole comprehensive suite. The software, the technologies, the processes,
Yeah.
everything you use to take that raw, often messy data
Yeah.
and not just organize it, but really interrogate it. We're talking about pulling data from different places, integrating it, measuring the important stuff, KPIs,
Yeah, okay.
and then presenting it all in a way that gives you actionable insights.
Yeah.
The bottom line is generating and visualizing data so it directly leads to smarter decisions.
It still feels a little abstract, maybe. Could you give us some concrete examples, big companies maybe, and how they're actually using BI? That might help it click.
Absolutely. So let's take Lowe's, for example.
Okay, Lowe's?
What's fascinating there is just the sheer scale they operate on with BI. They don't just track overall sales, they use it for incredibly detailed predictions in their supply chain.
How so?
Well, they can anticipate demand shifts at a very local level. So they minimize having too much stock in one store while making sure another store, maybe just across town, has enough of something critical. It's a level of precision that honestly was almost unthinkable a couple of decades back.
Wow.
And they actually built a dedicated data center pretty early on, which really shows their commitment to being data-driven.
A whole data center just for BI. That's significant. Who else comes to mind?
Think about Starbucks, that loyalty card program.
Yeah, I use it all the time.
Right. Well, it's more than just points for free coffee. It's a sophisticated BI engine. It collects data on individual buying habits.
Ah, okay.
So the key insight there is their ability to use that info to personalize offers. They can anticipate what you might want next with surprising accuracy. It's not just general promotions.
Right, that shift from just blasting everyone with the same message to really targeted recommendations, that's huge.
Exactly. Then you've got American Express. They've always been sort of pioneers in using BI in finance.
Hmm.
A big insight there is how they use it not just for creating new payment services, but also as a major tool against fraud, identifying weird patterns, protecting customers almost in real time.
Crucial in their industry.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And, well, we can't really talk about this without mentioning Amazon.
Of course.
Their whole logistics operation, it's a masterpiece, really. From the moment you click buy to the package landing on your doorstep, it's all powered by incredibly complex BI, optimizing warehouse stock, delivery routes, you name it.
It really is that aha moment, isn't it? These companies we interact with every day, they're running on these incredibly sophisticated data analysis systems.
Exactly.
So what usually pushes a business, maybe not Amazon scale, but any business, to say, okay, we need to invest in BI? What problems are they typically trying to solve?
Yeah, there are several common triggers we see.
Right.
One big one is often hidden problems in their workflows. Things just aren't running smoothly.
Bottleneck.
Precisely. BI gives you the power to map those processes out and actually monitor them. A key insight is not just seeing what's happening, but where things are getting stuck.
Okay.
That lets you improve vendor integration, maybe cut down production times, and ultimately give better client service. That's something we at Vee Technologies help clients with quite often.
Makes sense.
Another driver can be slow growth, or, interestingly, sometimes even too fast growth that feels unsustainable.
That's an interesting one, fast growth needing analysis.
Yeah, because they need BI to really dissect their marketing, sales, finance, operations data, understand which parts of that growth are healthy and sustainable, and which might actually be creating risks down the line. It's a less obvious use case, but really vital.
Okay, so workflow issues, growth analysis. What other common challenges lead companies to BI?
Cash flow is always a big one, right? BI tools let you monitor that in essentially real time.
Proactive, not reactive.
Exactly. Gives you the insight to tackle potential problems before they blow up.
Hmm.
It can also shine a light on areas with really low profit margins, or maybe find process waste you didn't even know was there.
Hmm.
And honestly, we still see a lot of companies drowning in spreadsheets.
Oh, definitely. Spreadsheet chaos.
Yeah. So a major benefit of proper BI applications is having these centralized consoles, these dashboards, that collect and assess the data much more efficiently. Saves a huge amount of time and resources.
I can absolutely see the appeal of moving away from endless, disconnected spreadsheets. So, how do different teams inside a company actually use these BI tools once they're in place, like sales teams?
Oh, sales teams love it. They get huge value from analyzing, say, which products or services are performing best, how individual reps are doing against targets, what the average deal size looks like, where new clients are coming from.
But they can fine-tune their approach.
Exactly, based on actual data, not just gut feelings.
Yeah.
And program managers, too. They use BI to get a really clear, data-driven view on project performance. Are we sticking to the schedule? Are resources being used effectively? Are we hitting revenue capture goals? It gives them that factual picture of project health.
That provides a good sense of the broad applications. Now, let's bring it closer to home. Talk about Vee Technologies specifically. How do we use BI both for ourselves and, in the work we do for clients?
Sure. So at Vee Technologies, we're obviously deeply involved in helping companies implement BI.
Mm-hmm.
We combine our tech know-how with a really strong understanding of their actual business processes.
It's not just about the software itself.
No, definitely not. It's about tailoring it to fit their specific needs or challenges.
Mm.
And internally, yeah, we absolutely use BI ourselves to understand our own operations better.
Can you give an example?
Yeah, for instance, we use process flow diagrams linked to our data. This lets us analyze our operations staffing profile. We can see key indicators, sort them by date, by department. It gives us a really clear data-backed picture of how we're allocating resources, where we're efficient, maybe where we could improve.
That internal example makes it very concrete.
Mm.
So once you have these BI reports, the dashboards, the graphs, what's the next step? The crucial part to actually get value.
Right, because the visualizations, the reports, they're just the starting point.
Yeah.
The real magic, the real value comes from the analysis. You have to dig in, ask the questions. What actually happened? What's happening right now? And critically, why are we seeing these trends?
The what, the why, and the so what?
Exactly. Understanding that why is what allows you to define where you want to be, the desired outcome, and then make reasonably informed predictions about the future.
So it's an ongoing process.
Absolutely. BI reports shouldn't just be generated and filed away. They should be living documents reviewed regularly, weekly, monthly, whatever makes sense. And those reviews should lead to actual actions by individuals or teams to address whatever the data is highlighting.
Turning data points into actual strategy. And Vee Technologies shares a lot of this knowledge through the Insights section on our website, right?
Yes, absolutely. Our Insights section is a really valuable resource. It's got white papers, case studies, exploring all sorts of aspects of business and technology, and definitely including business intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
I'd particularly recommend checking out the white paper by Byron James. He's our Assistant Vice President of Client Services and Operations. He gives a great overview of why BI is so important and shows its uses across loads of different industries.
And Byron has such a diverse background too, right? Engineering, architecture, IT. It really speaks to how broadly applicable BI is.
It really does. And interestingly, he even holds a patent in software for business collaboration from his time back at IBM.
Wow.
Yeah, so it really underscores his deep understanding of how technology can genuinely drive business value, which is core to BI. And our Insight section covers, engineering, consulting, IT, healthcare, legal processing, logistics, media, finance. And BI really plays a role in driving efficiency and innovation within pretty much all of those. We definitely encourage you, the listener, to explore the sections that are most relevant to your own field.
And there are specific case studies there too, aren't there, showing concrete results?
Yes, definitely. Under IT, for instance, you can find case studies about how we helped a mineral extraction device manufacturer and also another manufacturing company automate their invoice and purchase order processing. We used hybrid bots, intelligent automation, which is very closely related to BI and its data-driven approach.
Tangible improvements.
Exactly. And under logistics, we show how implementing EDI services resulted in significant financial gains and much smoother operations for clients.
Okay.
Even under media, There are insights on using social media, monitoring another form of data analysis to track ROI and navigate things like product crises. It all comes back to analyzing data effectively.
So as we start to wrap up, what's the main message, the core takeaway you want people to have about business intelligence?
I think the key thing is this. BI isn't just about collecting piles of data. It's fundamentally about that critical next step, the analysis. Analyzing the data to unlock meaningful insights.
Right?
Because it's those insights that empower you to make informed decisions. Decisions that lead to real, tangible improvements and results for the business. We see it with the big Fortune 500 companies, and we see it in our experience here at Vee Technologies.
Exactly. It's about moving beyond just knowing what happened to really understanding why it happened and, crucially, what we can do about it next. That's where the real power lies.
Precisely. And maybe a final thought to leave people with.
Yeah.
Consider this. Within your own organization right now, how much data is just sitting there, untapped? What potential insights are just waiting to be discovered? If you applied a focused business intelligence strategy, what blind spots could you suddenly see? What new opportunities for growth or efficiency might pop up if you had that clearer, data-driven view of your own operations?
Some really important questions to think about. And if you are keen to explore these ideas further, see how they apply in the real world, definitely visit the Vee Technologies website. Check out that insight section for the white papers and case studies we mentioned on BI and related topics.
Definitely worth a look.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.